Okay, guys.
Second half is starting now. We'll see what's in store. No one really knows.
Okay. I just thought I think a couple might be coming in for that. I think Simon, Meg, do you want to come up with your books, and Richard? Because you know what I thought would be really nice? Get a photo of 3 BCers that have all done their books. And if the guys want to, do you want to bring them up? Just bring them up. Richard, I've got a couple here. Richard. And if you're not absolutely loving today, it's just your script. Well, you would choose to, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So, hang on, I'll just get a quick shot. Are you getting one, Chad? Hang on, just get one in. Where's Liz? Quick, Liz, come on up.
Where's your book? You get your book.
Get them little Scottish legs.
Yeah, where's your book, Liz?
Where's your book, Liz?
I've not got my book.
Yeah, what was it?
I've got a book. Is there? That's not good. Since BC.
Yeah.
Liz,
do you want a copy of your book?
Quick.
Sorry, I've got actually written it.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
When I'm easy, I'm going.
Just look after it, will you?
Well, fuck this. Where's mine? That's like MIV now. That's it. Good ball, Richard. Yeah, come on, LIR, boys. Do you want to say something to what you do in your books?
Yes. It looks like a children's book, but it's also humans as well.
No, you're right.
So I say.
It's a good revision guide, actually, for anybody who's done the BC course. I'm doing sessions in primary schools now, working with young children as young as 5, and they do paper bag puppets. So they do one for their script voice and one for their heart voice. And I give them different scenarios, and they tell me what the 2 voices say. And at 5 years old,
5,
they know what their script says. So, it's going in there.
I can imagine getting 5. What I was saying this morning, no one told me. It's amazing. So in terms of results, then it's going all right.
Yeah. And can I just tell a story about Judith's daughter Maisie, who's 6. She read my book, and 3 days later she went to a birthday party, and on the way home she said, my script told me that I couldn't dance, but I chose to ignore it.
What I'm loving is that you're applauding. I think you can see the magnitude of that. To get that at that age, God, that's brilliant. Thank you. So what? Do you want to say a bit to the guys?
Yeah, sure. So I'll just follow on with the dance, theme. So I've written a book for 7 to 11-year-olds about the juicer, and I'm doing sessions in in primary schools. And
that's not an adaptation of the sausage machine.
It is, yeah. So you put you have 70,000 fruity thoughts a day. 70,000 fruity thoughts a day. Those fruity thoughts.
Got you now. Got it out, me. You've been playing up until now.
I'll make it even ruder if you like. So the product started out, it was Jack Cherry and the Juicer. It started off as Simon and the Sausage Machine. Okay, but sausages meet willies to 9-year-olds. Okay, and so it became Jack Cherry and the Juicer. So another Megan was telling me, this is a 10-year-old Megan, telling me that she had a dream of opening an American diner with her sister, and she told them adults about this dream. and they said she was told it was a stupid idea. I did a session in her school, and 2 months later I went back and said, okay, so what did you get out of the juicer? And this little girl, Megan, said, well, if it hadn't been for you and the juicer, Simon, I wouldn't have got anywhere in life. Because, and I went, ooh. And she said, well, she told me the story about this American diner, and how, I think it was her father actually, scary, had said that it was a rubbish idea. She said, now I know about the juicer, I can make my dream come true, and I can have my American diner with my with my little sister. And if it wasn't for the juicer, we would.
Oh, brilliant. Say hello, world. Hello, world. Hello, world.
Back on. Broadcasting.
I'm loving this. I'm loving today, I am. There's good news and bad news. Brio BC courses. Well, I suppose it's good news and good news in a way, but it's bad news. You probably won't want to book on the next one because it's full. Our last BC that we did last week was full because we don't have great big rooms like this. People are really surprised. We just work in small. It's between 9 and between 6 and the maximum is 9 delegates. So you really get like me and Liz for the 5 days. You don't, you know what I mean? It's not like some things where it's all diluted. But the next one, but I'll tell you about the dates and everything later. But it's full up now. So there we go. I'm gonna do the sausage machine now. However, pardon? Oh no. Pardon? You really do think I'm fit, don't you? See if Liz gets it. You did. So, what's it up for? I'm going to introduce Tom. Tom did the second BC we ever did, which is over 7 years ago. He didn't know until just then. Again, I said, "You always say, oh, I didn't know." Tom, living legend. He hates me saying stuff like that. But I've said, dare to tell him what you're really doing, mate. So I don't know if you will. Because, again, what Tom's used with BC, I don't believe, am I right in saying those bugs wouldn't have happened without BC? I think I am, right? Yeah. Thank you. And see what Tom's doing. It's amazing. Come on up, man.
Okay.
Tom! The legend!
Hello, world.
The legend! Hello, world!
They're used to seeing me, not quite with so many people in the room, so thanks very much for that. Yeah, Richard asked me to say a few words, I guess, about all the things that we're doing at the moment. We're starting a school. It's very exciting. So about that in a second. I just want to say that I was one of these people that my life was pretty okay, actually. I thought it was pretty much okay. In fact, it was rather good. I had a great childhood. I was brought up by very loving parents and a wonderful family. Worked hard at school, went to a good university, had everything going well, got married, had a few kids, lived in Hong Kong, ran my own business, ran a school out in Hong Kong. Everything's going fantastic. My wife had a different idea of how well things are going. When I was busy doing all these things that guys do, that a number of the guys have alluded to, we'd kind of drifted apart in the way we saw the future. And I'm working really hard to create this school, and it's going to be wonderful income for us in the future. And all of a sudden, there isn't a future. She's taking the kids back to England. Actually, worse than that, Wales. Sorry. And all of a sudden, all these things that you're dreaming about and doing, and you think are working so hard for the family, you realise, well, you don't have a family anymore. And that was really difficult to deal with. I was so fortunate to meet Richard and Liz at this time. And some people, Harry is a friend of mine I've known for like nearly 30 years, and he was kind of aware of what was going on through this period. And he can be testimony to this, but I grew up a Catholic. That religion didn't help me at all. It was just offer it up, pray. I mean, I'm sure those things are great, but it didn't help me particularly. Friends, after you talking to them about these challenges for hour after hour after hour, you know, they're still your friends and everything, but, you know, they can't really help you. They say, you know, cheer up and get on with it. And luckily I met several. Yeah, a lot more than that. But, you know, you don't want to talk to people. They say, how's things going? And then you find yourself saying the same things over and over again. You know, I'm not seeing my kids. I'm going to court all the time, and I'm still not seeing the kids. But luckily, Richard, I got to see Richard and Liz speak, and I thought there's something about the way I mean, most of you have picked this up. You're either hearing for the first time, or you've heard them before. And you think, I don't know what it is, but not only do I want it, but I can quite easily see myself doing it, because it's pretty easy. I've been to see a lot of speakers in the past who think, yeah, that's great. I could see myself doing those 10 things. Probably, you know, you get into it a couple of weeks later and you sort of forget, like all these habits and these resolutions. So Richard, it's just amazing, because I listened to his CD. In fact, I listened to the CD so much. I thought, I'm kind of into the mental stuff, you know, physics was my degree, and I thought, I've got to trick myself into listening to this stuff all the time. And what happens when you get the CD and you listen to it, and you put it on, and then you listen to it again a couple of times, and then you stick it on a third or fourth time, and go, oh, I know this. I kind of know this. Right? So I thought, I know I'm going to reach that stage. So you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my own versions of the CDs, just put songs that I've written, that I've jammed along jazz to, and add them to Richard talking. And I'll mix it in at the same level of sort of a song level, so it won't be background music. So every time I listen to it, I'll be sort of like jamming along, listening to the music that I really like, and I'll end up listening to it over and over and over again. So when Richard says, "Oh, you've got all these amazing things happening in your life," which maybe I'll get on to in a minute, it's not really to do with anything that I've done. It's just that I've tricked myself into being able to listen to this stuff, the ideas of the script and the sausage machine, day in, day out, for years and years and years. I listen to it all the time, still listen to it. So skip to the end. The big thing for me was I realised that I had to stop putting in the injustice and the bitterness. I mean, listen, it won't solve your problems. I keep wanting to get down like this and start walking, but I realised that I'd step off the screen. It won't solve your problems. It won't make you a lot of money in your business. It doesn't, automatically. But it makes you okay with whatever happens. And being okay with whatever happens, and then realising, well, it is a sausage machine, so if I want to attract a great life, I better start being great and not being kind of boring and repetitive and going on and on about the injustice and the bitterness. I still don't see 3 out of the 4 kids from my first marriage. For the first time in November the 10th, last year, was the first time I saw my eldest son for 8 years. And the only reason I saw him then was because he's left home and he's gone to, he worked hard at school as well. He got into Cambridge University. He got a bloody scholarship to Cambridge. Doesn't even have a student loan, right? So what does the script say? You know, didn't even need you, right? And I didn't see him for 8 years. Of course, I know that's a script, but my intuition says, you know, isn't it wonderful that even though his mother and I didn't see eye to eye about access to the children, she at least provided this great environment for him to be able to go on and you know, develop. So he's at Cambridge University. We contacted through Twitter a little bit because, and when I saw him again, it was just outstanding. If you haven't seen your own, if you've been prevented from seeing your own children against your will for any period of time, it's really, really difficult. But the script will tell you that you've got to be really bitter and holding on to all that terrible stuff. And what happens is that you just get that stuff. Richard explained it with the sausage machine. And I realised that this would sort itself out. 8 years is a hell of a long-term play when your kids are like 10 down to, doing the maths, 10 down to 6 at the time. But we got there. First kid has left home. And you know what? And when I was talking to him, he said, it's just difficult at home because we don't want to upset mum. And we know how much it would be difficult for her to deal with the fact that we're seeing you again. So, you know, I'm not going to talk to the others about the fact that I've seen you. Because it's just, I mean, it would be really hard for him. It would be hard for him. It wouldn't be worth it. The politics wouldn't be worth it. But But, you know, the sausage machine and applying it and putting the good stuff in and putting, you know, this will sort itself out. It will be okay. After a few years, you just put, you know, you accept it. And after a few years of just putting in, you accept it, then you start putting in, I really want my ex-wife to be happy. I genuinely want her to be the same happiness I want for myself, I want for her. That's quite tough to put in because the script will say, you know, you can't do that. But you know what? It's only as a result of doing that that now I've got to be able to see my eldest son. I've had a few emails from the next son as well. He's still living at home, so I'm not expecting to see him immediately. And in the interim, I've managed, by putting great stuff into the sausage machine, I managed to attract some wonderful things. I've got a wife from America. I'm not saying America's better than Wales. That's just a coincidence. That's amazing. We've got 4 children, wonderful children. So it's 8 in total for me. So that's interesting. 8 children, which is astonishing. So the youngest, Thelonious, is 7 months old. Eldest, Henry, is the one who's at college. Amazing life. We live in a wonderful place on the South Downs. I've had tremendous business successes and failures over the last few years. But the skipping to the really exciting part for Richard is that these ideas about mindset, about the sausage machine, about the script, about not having to wait till your life's perfectly in order to feel good. You can feel good now even though you've got all this shit in your life going. It still doesn't get me to see my autistic kid who's going to be 16 on the 15th of February, Eddie, and it still doesn't let me deal with that. You know what? He doesn't know. All of a sudden I'm doing, 1 minute I'm doing therapy, one-to-one therapy with him in the house. He's whatever, 16 is -8. He's about 8. The next thing, the police are coming to evict me because I'm not the resident parent and he's on my lap. And he hasn't been told anything about the fact that, you know, I've always wanted to see him for these last 8 years. He's just, you know, doesn't really understand. I'm just not there anymore. So it doesn't fix these things, but enables you to still have an amazing life. And we're starting a school based on this kind of thinking. It's a leadership college for young people, for 16 and above people, 6th form college. It's going to end up with them doing A-levels, and you end up getting the best education. We've got some brilliant teachers. My vice principal, Denise, quickly stand up. It's a leadership college built on right now these same principles, and it's teaching young people to be leaders within and understand themselves and realise about the script. You imagine if young people, 16 and above, or even 5 and above, if right now they knew, well, they've got this challenge, they've got all this work to do, and you say to them, okay, that's great. What would your script be saying to you right now about this? Okay, what would you be saying to yourself right now? Oh yeah, I can do this. Right. Imagine that kind of lesson on a daily basis going. Phenomenal stuff. What an opportunity. And I've talked for a little longer than I expected, but you know what? Because I'm involved in the technical side of things, often I'm not invited to actually talk. So it's a real privilege and a real delight for me to be able to tell you a little bit about my story. And to say that whatever challenges you may be going through now, business, financial, personal, anything like that, if you just notice and separate between you and your script, you know, that's all you need to do. Everything else will take care of itself. I'm so honored.
Quite a few challenges there to deal with. Don't come much bigger than that, I don't think, in life. And Tom's reaching all these people around the world. I don't know how many people, Tom, are you in regular touch with now on your?
Well, we've got 100. We've got 130,000 people worldwide now plugged into courses based on these principles.
130,000
worldwide. It's quite a lot, actually.
Right, guys. Before I do the sausage machine, we've got one of the speaker, and until we were having the bite to eat her, she didn't know that she was coming on at all. So Helen, you got 5 minutes and they'll shoot by, so suck it to them. Hello world! Hello world!
Literally over lunch, Richard said, "You're speaking." I said, "No, takes a bit." So how? I said, "No, my phone's broken." Well, anyway, it's fine. Can I move this for a sec?
Yeah, sure.
So,
Do you want a hand?
if I just move it. I came to first recharge day, and that picture was up, and I actually came with something because I thought they needed to hear about it, and that I didn't need it. And as we were sat there, I kept finding my body. When I heard certain of the superheroes or Liz and Richard saying something, I found I was going, and I suddenly remembered that that's what my body does when I hear something that I like. And the other person I was with wasn't quite having the same reaction. So during the break, when we were talking about different things, to be the peacekeeper, I was explaining all the reasons for not needing to do VC based on what was said. And every time I started going into, well, I don't think, I don't need to because of, and we talk about it. And it always ended up with being a reason that actually might be a really good idea for me to do VC. So I'm really glad I listened to that gut instinct and that voice that just kept bringing me back. Because can everybody see that? I had a fantastic life before doing VC. Nice house, nice car, nice material stuff, but more importantly, fantastic husband, gorgeous son and daughter. But I just always felt there was something missing, and I didn't know what it was. And the more I felt there was something missing, the worse I felt about myself. You know, when the hell are you going to be happy? You've got all this stuff, and what's wrong with you? So all I can say is that the stuff is all there, the people are all there, all the challenges are still there. My experience of it all is just completely unrecognisable. It's the way I used to experience life. It wasn't a gift, it was a chore. Whereas now it's just, I don't know how to describe it. Because there's just so much amazingness going on. And life circumstances haven't changed, I absolutely promise you. And, you know, I used to feel lonely and isolated. And that's all changed because I'm doing all sorts of things in the community. And it's just at every single level. And then when you start sharing it, you know, it just doesn't get any better than that. I run a meditation group now for my local WI. And it's so easy to share what we've learned. I shared it with a friend a while back who shared it with another friend who I then met and got to share a bit with her. And she was in a special needs school just last week with a young child, very severe special needs, who was feeling really down. And she just turned to this child and said, "Well, what would you choose? Feel good or feel bad?" And he said, "I'd choose to feel good." And she said, "We can't do both at the same time, so let's just, let's change it." So all I can say is follow your heart. Every time your brain kicks in, it's going to be you're trying to, sorry, that's what I call my script deal. It's a poor old sad sack, isn't it? It'll just be your script trying to give you all the reasons the way mine did. And it's the best thing I've ever done, and I can't thank you guys enough and for the effect it's had on my family.
More stories. Right, I'm going to show you something now. Dr. Wilkins. We had a doctor who did BC recently. Right. So say you went to the doctors and you said, right, that's sort of what's happening to me at the minute, you know, emotionally. So I'm having these big highs and lows. He's probably going to say, remember he's only got 7 minutes on average with you. He's likely to say, you are what? Bipolar is a good one, yes. He's likely to say, it sounds to me, big highs, big lows. You're probably bipolar because you go into there and these things here. Right now, if you remember Lizzie's thing, watch what happens. Right, you've been to the doctors, people look up to doctors, You're now saying, I am bipolar. Let's assume, just for the purpose of the exercise, that anyone that's got bipolar, you twitch 3 times every minute. You will go home and say, how'd you go to the doctors? He says, I am bipolar. You'll get on there, you'll Google it. What's bipolar? Blimey, you twitch 3 times. And I'll guarantee you, within the day, you'll be twitching because, like Liz said, behaviour follows identity. That's what we do. So, it's like Alcoholics Anonymous, right? They do brilliant work. They get some success. What does an alcoholic say? I am a alcoholic. You're enforcing it. You're saying, I am an alcoholic. What do alcoholics do?
Drink.
Ah, yes! You're saying, well, I don't want to drink. Yeah, but you're an alcoholic. That's what they're saying. Now, the work is brilliant. Please, they do great work. Wouldn't this be, watch this tiny, tiny little tweet. You go to Alcoholics Anonymous now, and I'll say, I'm Richard Wilkins. I'm a superhero, pretending to be an ordinary person. No, I'm Richard Wilkins. I'm a good guy. Watch this. Watch what happens now. However, my script, when I'm in my script, I can take on the behaviour of an alcoholic. But it's not who I am. Totally different. You're dealing with totally different things. So now, watch this. Now let's say the alcoholic is in this script now. Well, this is real. So big bunch of paper. Put that there. Is that script real? It is, because it's there. Am I real? Yeah. But that isn't me. What you've just done, you've done a miracle by doing that. I've separated it from me. I am not my behaviour, I'm in the script. Now, just a little bit about the script here. See, the script's clever. The script never says, hi! Now you've done a recharge day, that's right. I'm your script, and I've been here to fuck the rest of your life up. Watch this. My scripts. What I'm holding up is a little doll here, guys. It's a horrible, ugly little doll called Gollum. And Gollum is from, what, the Lord of the Rings, isn't it? And he goes, see, he's clever, he goes, psst, yes, my precious. So you're thinking of doing this. Say you're going to come to the next recharge day. Or you're going to think of booking on BBC or whatever. It'll go, yes, my precious. He said, very nice idea. Lovely people. But leave it till later. We'll do it later because you've been working. You need to get back. You're a bit tired, aren't you? You go, oh, yeah, I'm a bit tired, I am. Yeah. You go, see, yes, and the second it's too late, like the course then fills up or you don't come to the next recharge day or whatever, it goes, you're not going then. You fucking told me not to go! Why that? Basically, that is what it is. We've got it makes out it's working in your best interest. It will say, listen, don't fall in love with that person, you'll get hurt. It'll say, we don't do this. Like now, what we're saying, it'll be saying, yeah, these people, they're all great that have gone on here, but this is not for us. The biggest thing with people with this day, they think, I don't need it. Then they do be saying, Jesus, didn't I need it? That's a clever one. So no, because it will say, life's not bad. That's a good one. It's not bad. It's all right. You say, yeah, life's not bad, is it? No, it's all right. Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. And that's where most people are at with it. So just remember that. It's clever. The script is very often it sneaks upon me, and you don't realise that it's a script until you're in it. So I just wanted to share that one with you. Now I can do the sausage machine, can't I, Liz? I can do the sausage machine now. However, what I'm going to do, I'm going to spring something on 2 people because I was speaking in the break to 2 people, and I really think they would have, because I listened to their message and I was blown away. So I'm going to ask Lisa and Gary to come up. Sorry guys, I'm sprung on this. But you've got to come up with what you said to me. Come on up. Give them a hand. Hello. Hello. Oh God. You might need that. Now, the guy, let me give you the background. That just so here. Lisa was doing BC. Well, not the week before last, wasn't it? So Lisa was doing. She came to the last recharge day with Gary. So these 2 guys, they're partners, right? So you're not married yet, are you? No, you soon will be there. So basically, they both booked on, right, to do it. Lisa did the 5-day BC the week before last, and Gary's booked on. It's the next one you're doing, isn't it? Was it May? March. In March, and they were just speaking to me, and I just don't want to say any more. I don't know who wants to speak first or whatever, but just tell the guys what you said to me. What did you say?
Ours is quite a short story. So, through a fortunate experience at work, I met Sally, who introduced me to the concept of Richard. We went home, and Lisa always knew in her mind that there was something sort of missing in her life. We talked about it. She didn't know it because she wanted to live somewhere else, or different boyfriend, or different job, or whatever. She just knew, and because I loved her so much, I cared about that. And when I spoke to Sally, Sally said, "You need to experience Richard Wilkins." So we Googled it, and it sounded like a lot of fun. We booked onto Recharge Day in November last year, and after Recharge Day, we sort of got a bit of it, and we got enough of it to want to book on the course. So we both booked on the course, and then in the car on the way home, and for 2 or 3 weeks afterwards, we thought, crikey, that's a lot of money, isn't it? You know, have we done the right thing? And so we had a few doubts, and that was obviously our script. Bearing in mind, I've not done the course yet. Anyway, so Lisa did the course a couple of weeks ago, and her best friends are her mum and dad, and in front of her mum and dad, she said, "This is the best week of my entire life," which I was staggered that she said that to her mum and dad. And I noticed a huge difference in Lisa, which has transformed how we interact too. So I can honestly say that the money we spent, I would not choose to spend that on anything else, given the choice.
I think the thing for me is I wasn't very confident before BC, and I think I was that person there. I knew there was something missing. I've been quite successful with my studies, with my job. I've always pushed myself. I've always tried to do the right thing to please people, but there was just that void in me, really, and I always felt, what's wrong with me? I should be happy. I've got everything that everybody's telling me. Just get on with it. You know, you've got a nice house, a nice boyfriend, nice job. You know, you've got money. You can go on holiday. But I was just feeling a bit empty. And I spent the week with there's 9 of us on the course, and Richard and Liz, and it was the best week of my life. Simon's here today. Thank you, Simon, for sharing the week with us. I've met some fantastic people. We've been on a huge journey together, and I can honestly say that in the last week at work, people have noticed the change in me. I'm just a different person, and I just feel content.
I just had to get the guys up to share that with you. So Gary hasn't even done it yet, and Lisa's done it. And see, from my point of view, what can I do? Now I'm getting emotional. What can I do when people come up to you, like the guys there, and this makes such a difference? And there's loads of people in this room that would say the same thing. How can I not share it? People say, God, you give a lot when on the reach. How can I not when I know that? I get my doubts, I get scared. I asked Melanie what I was like in the office yesterday. I'm trying to fix something on that, and I struggle. I'm just a guy, but BC isn't just a course. It isn't just, it's something magical that people say, well, how did you get it there? I don't know. Somehow we downloaded it from, Cosmic Google. All I know, it gets spectacular results. And we were talking at lunchtime, and you look at people like Gandhi and Mandela, and that's what that guy, do you remember I told you earlier about the guy that had killed people, the mercenary? And he said, this is what I want to say to you, Richard. He said, they interviewed, what's his name again? There's that Christian speak. Can you remember him?
Billy Graham?
Billy Graham, he said, Billy Graham was interviewed on the right. Now, Billy Graham has spoken to more people live than anyone else on planet Earth. For those of you that may not know, he was this American sort of evangelist Christian speaker, great guy, And he'd fill stadium after stadium, and then they'd show it in cinemas. I remember all around Northampton, massive. However, he's quite elderly. He was at the time when I met this guy. He said he had heard an interview on the radio, and he says his biggest regret was that he didn't have anyone to take over when he stepped down. Now, this is really important what I'm saying now, because this is massive. I've never heard of this before. And if you look, he said, and that's my concern, Richard, you've got it, but what happens when, you know, like we always emigrate to heaven, what happens then? And it was a brilliant question. When you look at great people like Mandela, Gandhi, and all these people, what happened was their wisdom died when they died. No one else, not to the level they did. I know they helped people, but you know, who picked up the baton? Imagine this is like a baton. Who picked up the baton like when Gandhi died, you know, and was doing a similar thing? Or Mandela and all these people. Now get this is important there. There's people that have done BC, and there's a couple in this room as well, I believe have got BC more than I've got it, better than I've got it, doing more with it. Now listen, that's not a bad thing, that's not me putting me down. That's spectacular because that means one thing. It must mean that this is highly transferable. And that's the reason, the carrot that I'm dangling, and Lisa will tell you, this is what I said on the BC. I said, look, if you allow yourself to get this, you'll help more people. You'll be able to help more people. This is like a positive play, this is. Because straight away, no one's ever said to me, oh, I haven't got a voice, I don't understand the voice. It's like you've always, you recognise it. You think, yeah, I know that little bugger. I know that thing. I've got that voice. I understand that. So I just want you to know that one of the most dreadful things is when you know someone and they're in pain, and it's someone that you love, and you can't reach them. And I know you can't do that with everybody, but sometimes you can. Someone will listen, and I know if people will listen to you with this, you'll be able to help people. Personally, I can't reach my eldest son, his ears have fell off or whatever. But the people that I've helped with this, people have come up to me and Liz and said, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. What am I supposed to do? How can I stand on this stage and not feel like I do now? How can I stand on this stage and not give you everything that I've got? Of course we want you to do BC, but I'm not going to do some big sell job. I'm not going to say, oh, you've got to run to the back of the room, there's only so many, or whatever. That's your decision if it feels right. But from my point of view, I can't not give you all that I've got. We've still got some people to come up yet that are going to speak. But you need to know that if you get this, and you'll be able to help people with it. What do most people say now? Say you've got a teenager or a mate or something, and they say, I'm really depressed. Here's the first thing you say. It's two things, right? But without knowing about BC, you say, cheer up, you're great, you're fantastic, you are. You're a brilliant person. It's like what Rachel was saying with a family. I was speaking to some of the family. I said, look, at lunchtime, I said, Rachel, everyone was saying what a lovely person Rachel is. She's got a gentleness about her, but it doesn't matter till Rachel gets up. It's like water off a duck's back. You think, if you only knew what I was really like. So there's two things. You say, cheer up, you're a good person, you are. Do you know what? There is a scary bit. The next thing what happens is they say, well, go and see the doctor. And be back to that. And just to finish that off there, what do you think I would say if someone comes? Do you think I'm going to say, there's something really wrong with you? You need fixing. Like the Dr. Phil thing says, look, you need to take responsibility. I'm going to say, excuse me, can I ask you a question? You go, yeah. Okay, you have these big high, I understand that. Yeah, okay. You know this bit where we're sort of just down here? You go, yeah. It feels pretty terrible, yeah. Can I just say, would you choose that? I'm sorry? Well, if you could, just pretend, would you choose? No, of course I wouldn't. Oh, okay. And when you read up here, you really have, would you choose that? Yeah, it feels fantastic. I'm going to say, I think you've just got a case of scriptitis that is highly treatable. You don't need drugs. All that's happening is you're not choosing. I'll get that. Well, you're a doctor. You don't. Yeah. When I'm in my script, I get that. And you just explained it away. Doctors are giving medication for this with people right, left, and centre. If whatever's going on in your head at the minute, right, you don't need fixing. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a script. But remember, we ain't got long. We're going to be finished 2 hours, and that's going to shoot by. We've got a coffee break in that as well. Let me remind you how we started off this morning. That's my heart. Let me in. This is something special. This, what we're doing here, listen to the people. Again, I was saying to some guys lunchtime, I said, asking a few questions. I said, try not to go in your head and analyse it. Just listen to these people that get on the stage. You know, me and Liz are telling you about the process. I'm going to do the sausage machine now. Listen to those guys. Listen to those people. And we've got something special. See, just one point the table up. There was a guy I knew a couple of years ago. He was 16. And just a couple of weeks ago, he got in the bath and he slit his throat. He's dead. And I hadn't seen him for 2 years. And I know if I could have got to him, I could have done something about it. But you see, I didn't. Because I can't get to everyone. So we need you. We need people, you know, like Tom and like the other guys that have got up here that says, my life's changed, to give people hope. He didn't think. All that got him was that script. That script said to him, you know what? Feeling bad, right? Dying is better than feeling bad. That's what suicide is. Suicide is when you feel. Robin Williams felt really bad. And rather than feel bad, which is down there, he said, I would rather die. And he killed himself. Like I said this morning, I make no apologies for being, I'm not like unhappy now. This is not me. I'm so happy with today. Right, my heart's, it's not me being unhappy. I'm emotional. It's a different thing. I'm emotional because my heart is knocking on your heart and you deserve everyone in the room. You said it, Sally. Sally Sinclair, you said everyone in the world should do this. Because you've got a right to know, because this is a killer. That guy didn't kill himself. He was murdered by that. That's what really happened. So stick down your sausage machine. It needs to be said, guys. I'm sorry. I know some people, it might almost set this much emotion, but it needs to be said. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to feel bad. When you've done BC, the script still gets me. I don't have a civil war in my head. I just say, that's a script. I'm sorry, it's a script. I don't know. Jeff might give you a great example of that when it gets up later. The sausage machine. I'm loving today. I am, and I'm crying my eyes out. If you'd have told me when I was a builder and I got my Ferraris, I would be doing this. Why am I doing it? You know why? Because someone's got it. Because no one ever told me when I was a kid, when I was having panic attacks, no one even told me it was a panic attack. No one held my hand and said, it's going to be all right, Richard. It's going to be okay. It's just a script. That's all it is. If you're hurting now, I promise you with all my heart, you wouldn't choose to feel like that. You wouldn't choose to be in pain. And that's what I love about what you're doing, Tom. I really believe. Tom, I know we've got to get in stealth. You can't unleash me and Liz on kids like this. But it's already started. It's got 130,000. No, it can't be 130 million next year. The sausage machine. Everybody loves the sausage machine. I forgot my apron. I've got an apron as well. And one of them's got a sausage on it, and it says, and it's got its foot. It says, "Prick with fork." Thank you. The sausage machine. So here I am. I'm speaking to a life coach. Life coaches, people that make you happy. Of course, most coaches. What are they coaching? People's scripts. Scripts love therapy. All the therapists, they're trying to fix the script. You can't fix the script. Just ignore the whole bloody thing. So, we got chatting. She said, well, my challenges, if you don't mind me saying, I don't see myself as successful. And that's a bit of a challenge because I'm supposed to teach people how to be successful. No problem, I said. I can fix that. She said, well, could you? I said, yeah. Well, about 2 minutes. She said, yeah, go on then. I said, well, it's all to do with the sausage machine, isn't it? I said, you want a successful sausage. So the model we're using is successful sausage. So I've got this table. There was this table. And I said, right. if you put, now follow this, if you put pork in there, what sort of sausage you're going to get out of it? She went, pork. If we put beef in here, I said, I always feel like Tommy Cooper. What comes out of it? She went, it's beef. I said, yeah. You just told me that you want success in your life, correct? She said, yeah. I said, so what do we need to put in it? We want success to go there. She said, hard work. No, she slightly missed it there. Let's try it again. You know, pork in, pork out, beef in, beef out. Success, she went. So I said, what do you need? She said, I need higher self-esteem. No, I said, think about it. Beef, beef, pork, pork. She said, this is success. I went, yes, it's success. Oh shit. Sausage machine's gone broke on us. If you check your scripts now, or you ought to check your script, I think it's in your head. Remember, the script only exists in your head. It's on a page about 8,043,000. I think it's quite clear what it says about success, because how would you know? Say you did anything in your life, not interested in what it is. How would you know when you're successful? What happens to you? You have a what? Yeah, that's what you do. You feel successful. You know, you achieved so many goals, you tick the boxes, and you made, like when I got the whore, I felt successful for about 2 days. Getting that? So you think, you have a so it's a feeling. So we want the feeling of success. That's what we want. But the script is very clear on that, and it says, thou shalt have the sausage before the feeling. In other words, you can't just, we're brought up, and this is a big script, you can't just have a feeling. You've got to have a reason to have a feeling. You've got to do that. That's how all society is structured. All the marketing in the world is structured around that. Get our product, then you'll feel happy. Get this. True story. This was years ago, before we did BC, and we were really hard up for money. And I was doing a talk, we really needed the money. And this guy said, really looking forward to your talk. I was on the phone to him. Really looking forward to doing your talk, Richard. You know, you coming along. He said, fantastic. It's just one thing. I said, what's that? He said, can you not do the bit where you tell them they can be happy now? I'm so sorry. He said, we're a network marketing company, and we don't want you telling them they can be happy now. They've got to want the money, you know, to... I said, I'm so sorry. I said, I can't do your talk. He said, oh no, I understand. I put that back. I said, no. I said, it's not that. It's the ethics of your company. And I put the phone down, and Liz, I didn't know, was listening to me in the other room. She said, I just heard what you said on that phone there, knowing that we really need the money. Because the temptation is to bypass it all when you need money, you see. And she said, I'm really proud of you. And I didn't do the talk. I never did do the talk. So what you've got with the sausage machine, what most people are, they're here. They're waiting here for a reason to have the feeling. I hear what you're saying, Richard, but, you know, I'll be happy when I've got the right partner, or when I've got the right shape, when I've got the right figure, when I've got enough money. The amount of people that I know, do you know young people, they're saying, I can't wait when I'm paying my mortgage off. Although I own so many properties and stuff, I want people to pay the mortgage off. I want people to have tons of properties. That's what I want. I don't have a problem with that. What breaks my fucking heart is when people are saying, I won't feel good till I achieve that. That's how done. That's what that script gets us to do. We are waiting for external reasons to have an internal feeling. Except one place. There's one place like hospice. You won't find that there. Is that what we do? Are we going to wait till it's right at the end of their life, like my sister did, bless her, and to get it? And that's when most people get. So it's not a question of if you can get what we're talking about here. If you can bypass that, are you going to wait for like the swinging brick to come and hit you in the head till you're nearly dead? That rhymes. That's good. Or are you just going to say, tell you what, I'm going to go for it. This BC thing, it's up to you. So most people are here, these are waiters.
And they're waiting, and they wait, and they wait. And one day they go, it's the end of my life. And they go, I spent the whole life waiting for a reason to be happy. But don't believe me, how many people have said to you on there? How many people say, I'm complete, they don't. And they do that, they're waiting for the stuff. So what happens in real life, what people put in, and we do a great thing on BC, we say, M25, Monday morning, what are most people putting in their sausage machine? Because you know what to put in. So they put doubt, worry, anxiety, fear, stress, resentment. You turn the handle like that and you go, bastard! Look at it! Another Dutch sausage! Another one! I don't believe it! Tuesday now. It's Tuesday. They put all that shit in on Monday. So it's now Tuesday. What do you think people put in the next day? Yeah, doubt, worry, fear, low self-esteem, perhaps a bit more frustration. You turn the handle, it's Tuesday, you go, fucking hell! Why? Why? It's like, what's that movie, Liz, where he says, oh, smite me! Bruce Almighty. I don't believe, no, I can't, I'm not going to do the whole week going back. we, that means you and me, we are the most intelligent species on planet Earth. I reckon the dolphins about the nearest to us. Well, yeah, right. How many songs have you heard from dolphins? Do you know how many bricklayer dolphins are there? They're not that smart dolphins, But we are. So we put rubbish ingredients in. We're getting rubbish out. So how long, to save me keep doing this all my life, how long do you think most people put rubbish ingredients in when they want brilliant sausage? So how long do most people do? How long do they do it? Yes! All their lives! And no one questions it. They go, well, put down, we're in fear in it. Whoa, look at that sausage. They're doing it all their lives. And without knowing about the script, I've just wasted 15 minutes doing this exercise. What does it mean? What does it mean? This is what it means. Watch this. You say to people, well, why don't you choose to be happy? You want to be happy, don't you? And the feelings come from you. Yeah, why don't I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why. I'll read another book and I'm still doing the same old shit. I'm still putting the same old shit in. So the question is, got to be one question here, and we'll finish on this one. Why is it that we keep choosing to put shit ingredients in? Because what Tom was saying, Tom now realises if he wants these things to happen, he's got to put the right ingredients here, not wait here for it to happen. Why is it we keep putting the same shit ingredients in day after day when we're so intelligent? The answer is we don't. You've never done that in your whole life. In your whole life, you would never choose to put. That's choosing. The script will get you to keep putting dumb ingredients in the sausage. Now, remember what we're talking about here. It's not a sausage. It's not a table. It's your relationships. It's your finances. It's the relationship with yourself. It's your health. What you put in. What's going on? And we spent, on our 5-day BC, we spent a whole 5 days on this, don't we, Liz? Just doing the sausage machine. But I haven't got to do this this point, have I? Oh yeah, I've got to do this. Number 2 one, haven't I? How long have I got?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. I don't know where I am. I love the sausage machine. It's a really powerful metaphor. I mean, ask yourself, what are you putting in? How much joy, how much love do you put in on a daily basis? And you think, well, I don't put a lot of love in. Why don't you? Would it make your life better? Just press B, Tom.
Yep.
Would it make your life easier if you put more love into it? Would it make your life easier if you put more? You know the answer. You go, yeah. Okay, that's brilliant. Well, they're all for free. But why don't you? How much would you love it? I would love loving my life. You'd really love, okay, what's stopping you? And that's what messed me up, Liz up, it's the script. That's what's stopping you. It's not you. You've been looking in the wrong place. And I always ask, how long would it take you to find what you're looking for if you're looking in the wrong place? Forever. We've been looking in the wrong place. We've been thinking it's us. It's not us at all. Right, okay, so here we are. We're back to the screen. I'll come this side here so I don't know if the world can see me. Okay, what does the script do? It paralyzes you. We did that one, didn't we? Yeah. A minute.
Should be the next.
Oh, no, they're not doing it. Oh, we're in.
Should be.
Come on. Just say it. Yes! We got it. So what does the script do? Wait a minute. Oh,
it's going the wrong way.
it! We're there! Yes! Right, okay. What makes BC unique? It is transferable. I haven't seen anything on planet Earth that is as transferable as this, that comes anywhere near it. That means if you dare get it and do it, you can help people. That's the best feeling I've had. Ferraris, Lamborghinis, been a millionaire, I've done all that stuff. The best feeling in the world is when you help another human being. And come on, guys, you know that. The only thing is, how do I do it? How you do it, you do this BC and you tell them about the script. Right. It's so transferable, even kids can understand it. It's the how. That's what I wanted. I hear all these great speakers telling me what, how? How do I do it? We will give you the how. That's what Liz said. When said BC gave her the how. Okay, what makes BC unique? It doesn't need you to be happy. To all the other courses, you've got to be happy. You think, I'm happy now. You're either going to be two things in your life. You're either going to be feeling good or not feeling good. After BC, what happens is, you either know you're choosing and you feel good, or you're in the script and you don't feel good. And you can be all right with either. It stops the civil war in your head. There's not a big debate. What's wrong with me? Nothing wrong with you. It just might be in your script. It explains why you haven't been choosing. It raises consciousness. You saw it on Liz's pyramid there. It allows you to really choose at last. What makes BC unique? It offers amazing ongoing support. We stay in touch with people. We've got people here. Sean's going to come and speak. Sean did the very first BC. That's 7.5 years ago. We stay in touch. People don't go. I mean, you know, BC, how many people stood up when Liz got people to stand up in the room? They wouldn't come back in this room if BC hadn't worked for them. So tremendous support you get with BC. You realise you're only ever dealing with, you've got one challenge, that's the script. Remember that thing where we put doubt, worry, anxiety, fear? You're dealing with one thing in your life, the script. Right. It saves and earns you money. How much did you spend on personal development, Liz?
More than I'd like to remember.
Give me a number.
60,000.
Jeff?
At least 40.
There you go.
50.
Yeah. And he'll tell you what's happened within his business. You've got more energy, people want to be around. I say to people, do you want a business tip? It's going to be very quick, like about a second. And I say, look like it's working. People don't look like it's working. I say, I'm a life coach, what do you do? Tell your fucking face! Right? It gets stronger with time. How can it get stronger with time? Because it reinforces itself. Because if you're happy, it's right because you're choosing. If you're not happy, BC is still right because it's in the script. It raises consciousness. Right, the facts. These are the facts now. Everyone has a script. I've got one. Everyone's got a script. Right, everyone's got one. And the great thing is, real quickly here, once people know about BC, that you know it's your script or it's their script, watch what happens now. What happens when you go back and you don't know about the script? What happens if you say something nasty? You're the nasty person. The script makes it personal. Right, everyone has a script. The script becomes your children's inheritance. That should scare us a little bit. You can't get rid of the script. They're all the therapists are trying to fix it. Who wants to fix the script? Just bloody ignore it. Right, most coaches and trainers are training and coaching the script, not the person. The facts, the script can kill you. I told you about that young lad, and he was 18. There are cases where children now, as you know, you've seen it on the news, and no one's putting any protection. You've got to get this on before it happens. You don't put a firewall on your computer when the hard drive's been burnt out by a virus. You put it on before. The script will never let you get there. It will always say, you're almost there, not yet. You may even die still thinking you are the script. Most people do. I think it's the facts. The only thing that stands between you and the feelings you want is the script now. You have love inside you. You have contentment. It's in you now. But that script will say, yeah, but hang on, it's not that easy for me. I can't, yeah, but whatever. And the danger is you believe it. Okay. BC takes you beyond the script. That's what our job is. I've told you we can't get rid of it. I've told you we can't fix it. It takes you beyond it. You know what someone does when there's a disaster? Suddenly they'll do something. They'll step up. Look, a lady I met at an event, she said, I can't make business calls. I said, I can get you to make 100 business calls like that. She said, you got any kids? She said, yeah, she was changing the subject. So I've got a gun, I'm going to shoot your kid in the head,
would you make 100 quid? Yeah! I said, I'm not going to shoot your kid. I said, it'd be a miracle. What are you talking about? I said, well, you just told me that you could do it, but you need your ass to be on fire. Welcome to the human race. And that's when most people will realise about that script, when it's too late. Right, so we take beyond it. You don't need fixing. There's nothing wrong with you. That's a fact, that is. Right, here's another fact. Lots of children, teenagers, have done BC. Last BC, we had about 5 teenagers stood on the stage. And Russ, he got on, I know Russ is 18 or 19. He used to be junior squash champion of the UK. Still thinks he's shit. So I mean, don't matter. You think, oh, you're don't make no difference. And he said, since I've done BC, I feel that I have an unfair disadvantage over others. Disadvantage. Advantage, sorry. Advantage. You get it today, what am I? Thick, yes I am. There you go. Yeah, BC get the fact. BC gets stronger with time. A fact. Most of the time, you're not consciously choosing because we're not fully conscious. That's the reason we're not choosing. BC takes that consciousness up. I haven't got the time to explain what happens on 5 days. Clearly, that's what happens with these people that stood on the stage. The facts. People from the ages of 18 to 16 now, from 16 to 72, and people from 12 different nationalities have done BC. These are the facts. Where are we? There's nothing that has the consistent lasting results of BC. I've never heard anything that gets stronger with time. I don't know. I've never heard it. What have we got here? The facts. Over 50% who have done BC are partners. Listen, it's like husband and wife partners in life. You don't normally get out of course. Of course, he'd often turn them against them. I don't like the changing you. I don't like all this stuff. Jeff might do something like that one as well. The cost of BC, it works out a third of a Kit Kat a day. That's what it works out. I mean, Sean, you did the first one. Do you have any idea roughly how much it would have worked out a day now? I should imagine we're sub 90p now, are we?
Today, gross is 90p, but with all the deductions and various things, it's less than 50.
Yeah. There you go. That's what, since he did it, that's how much it's costing, 90 pence a day.
More for the rest of my life.
Yeah. There you go.
It's down every day.
And he's going to go get you up in a minute. You can say that to the guys. Or 20 cigarettes a day, or 2 Costa coffees a day for a year. So if you bought 2 Costa coffees a day for a year, it's the same thing that will do something that will change the rest of your life. That's how it works out. So you could go and buy 2 cups of coffee a day for a year, or there's a program that we've got where you can pay for like 12 months. Well, you can almost do BC and you almost pay us, we get a bit up front. And you can do that. It works out, I think, £7.60 a day over a year, and it changes your life forever. But your scripts are still, oh yeah, but right. Without BC, do I do this one, Liz? Right. You pass the very thing on to your kids that you've been trying to protect them from. We tell our kids they're amazing. They look at us and they think, yeah, but that ain't what you're doing. And they do. Kids don't do what we say, they do what we do. What are you doing now? What are you doing in your life? That's how the script gets passed on from generation to generation to generation. We're the first generation that's stopping the passing of it. Like we say, we're script busters. You know, like Ghostbusters, something good. Where are you going to go? Script. I still remember when I was in a room full of people and it's like, what are you doing, fool? That was my script. Right, without BC, you will never achieve what you want because you don't believe you deserve it. Without BC, you can't love who you are because you don't know who you are. That's the biggest thing. How many have said that on stage today? People think they're a script. Who you are, I'll tell you who you are. You are who you are minus that. What's left is you. That's the truth. Without BC, you'll continue to be scared that you'll be found out, so you hide and feel like a fraud. That's the big one. I spoke to a load of kids in the school a couple of years ago. I said, now what happens? You get home from school, lock yourself in your bedroom, and you go, bluffed it through another day. And we're still doing it. Right. Without BC, the feelings you long for will remain beyond your reach. Your script is always going to tell you you're not ready yet. It will always tell you you don't know enough yet. It will always do that. Without BC, you won't feel that you're living your purpose or that you're making any real difference. Most people don't know what your purpose is to be who you really are, minus the script. It's not, people always, when you always talk about purpose, they talk about doing. We're talking about being. Do you know that? Whenever you say what's your purpose, people always say, well, I'm not doing it. It's not about, get the being right, then the doing follows. Without BC, you'll have a civil war. That's what gets you. That's what zaps your energy. The script is an energy thief, like Liz said. It steals our identity. You'll know when, how do you know when you're in your script? Your energy will drop. How do you know when someone else is in their script? Their energy will drop. That's what it does. Right, without BC, you'll still feel there's something missing. Like this person here, I think Eleanor or someone pointed, it's like they've done all the courses of these different shapes, and the hole in the middle, you feel like there's something missing. That's the real you. BC will give you that. What will BC? Do I do this one? I do this one.
Yeah.
This I do. Right. This is what it'll allow you to be who you choose to be. Your true self, so no more hiding, playing small, feeling the fraud. What will it do for you? It'll give you the ongoing support so you're no longer on your own. That's what the script gets us to feel lonely all the time. It isolates us. What will it do for you? It busts the script so you don't pass it on and do really stupid things. Right. What will it do for you? You can access the feelings you want and you no longer need a reason to feel them. You don't need a reason to feel. Is it hot in here?
Yes.
Can we get it turned down a bit, please? Guys, it's a bit warm, isn't it? It is up there. What will BC do for you? You can be okay with not being okay. That would end all prescription stuff that they're giving, but we're not okay. Because personal development, we think, I've got to be happy and positive. You've got to put me on some tablets. Why? Do you think people were happy and positive in the Blitz? Do you think they were going around dancing and standing? Of course they weren't. Why weren't they going to the doctors? Because they said, well, of course we're not happy. The Germans are dropping bombs on our head. That's personal development for you. Let's set that. Right, what will it do for you? You know now that bad things happening doesn't mean you're a bad person, so you can rise above the challenges instead of them dragging you down. See, the script does this stuff, then it gives you the blame for it. And that's what personal development says. You must take responsibility when you do a bad thing. Is that it? Right. Right, what will BC do for you? You're infinitely more tolerant, therefore your relationships improve massively, especially the one with yourself. I've heard people stand on it and say, we wouldn't be together if we weren't for our scripts. Me and Liz, we're nearly at the point where we can leave our scripts to fight it out, to script is an argument, and go to the pub and have a beer. Come on. You fight it out amongst yourself. Right. What will BC? It will stop you beating yourself because you know it's the script, not you. Right. What will BC for you? Life's easier, more fun, more profitable in every sense of the word. You realise that you've only got one challenge, the script. And lastly, it gives you the how that you've been searching for. That's what BC will do for you. And if that is bullshit, and so are all these people that got on the stage today. They're either all bullshitters, right, or they're lying. And you know it's not that. It takes a lot of courage to get on this stage. Who have we got now?
Sean.
Pardon?
Sean.
Sean's coming up. BC number one. Come and say hello to the world, Sean. What is this world thing?
We're broadcasting.
What's this world thing? It's a big round thing, Sean.
I'm just looking.
Oh, wow!
Look into it.
You look into it. It's great.
Yeah, first bullshitter of the day. Because I write stories. Gosh, there's so much I could tell you, and there's so much good stuff we've heard. Where shall I start? Just please accept that I have a heavy script. From the age of 7 to the age of 19, I kept a secret that for all those years where I should have been learning, I just hid. So I set myself back, gave myself a difficult start in life. But I've got a brain, so I became an accountant. Didn't want to do it. It seemed an easy route. 27, I was a group finance director in advertising, driving the Porsche, earning big money. Very, very, very unhappy. Absolutely unhappy. I should have been writing. I used to write all through school, write funny stuff, write sketches, write songs, write plays. but I didn't have the confidence to pick that up and try and make a career of it. Fast forward a few years, March or April 2007, I met Richard and Liz by accident. I went to do Toastmasters to learn how to speak in public. I got volunteered to go and do a speech at a speech contest, but I really didn't want to go to it. I had a 45-mile drive and I was busy. All the journey, I don't want to be there, I don't want to be there. Got there, and Richard was doing a 1-hour talk on how to be an inspirational speaker. What he was really doing was delivering his magic. And in 1 hour, I looked at this guy and I thought, he's been stalking me. He's been stalking me my whole life. He knows me inside out. He knows exactly what's wrong. This is what I'm looking for. And I spoke to Richard and Liz afterwards. I said, I want more of this. I went on a 1-day course. It was, again, amazing. And I've been on some personal development, and none of it had stuck. It was very much the case of you come out and the real life kicks back in. And I said to Richard, I really hope this sticks, because it's amazing. And he said, funny you should say that. We're working on that. I'll be in touch. October 2007, we had a cup of coffee here, and he said, I'm starting a 5-day immersive program where you can get all of this and make it part of your life. And I said, I want in definitely. And he said, well, the first course is fully booked. I'll book on the second one. And I said, I really want to do the first one. I really want to do the first one. And then, I said, my head is saying, wait, let's do a few, make a few mistakes, and I'll come when you've got it right. But my heart is saying beyond the first one. And he said, well, that's great, Sean, but it's fully booked. I'm sorry, I can't. And then Jeff Scarlett, who was booked on the first course, had another commitment and pulled out. So a few days later, I got a call from Richard. There's a place on the first course, and I thought, yeah, right, yeah. I bet there was one all the time. We're all a bit cynical, aren't we? But anyway, I got on the first course, and I'm tempted to feel smug that I was on the first one. But I'm just so blessed to have been on any BC course. The fact that this first one is a little bit extra special, but I mean, the people I've met are just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. I mean, a lot of you in the room have done BC. And we're all of the same mind. We've all addressed these problems, and it makes a massive difference. I'm getting waved at to finish, and I haven't started. Oh no, you're fanning yourself. Oh great. So yes, just prior to starting BC, prior to meeting Richard and Liz, I was an accountant, absolutely miserable. Always wanted to be a writer. I met my wife Kath, who's also done BC. Share a passion for film, so I was going to get to film. Long story short, meeting Richard and Liz gave me a bit of an impetus. By the time I did BC 6 months later, 2 days after BC finished on the Friday, on the Tuesday, we got a cheque for £140,000 to start a film production company. And you might say, well, even without BC, you'd have got that. And yes, we would, but we'd have blown it, because the script wouldn't have let us use that money well and get into the film business, which is a bloody hard business to get into and get accepted. I've executive produced 8 feature films, and I've just sold my first script as a writer, which is exactly. Friday, finished negotiations with it's a comedy film, and we've got a director who's done over 200 episodes of top British sitcom, looking through his first feature, loves the script, so that's a real great sort of pat on the back. What I'm doing. Same script, right? Well, this is the irony. I'm writing scripts, yes. Whilst laughing at my own, which is the real thing. It's the awareness of the thing in the first place, which is so simple, but you do need to be sort of pickled with it, and then the choice to ignore it and laugh at it, and to walk around it and over it. We're based up in the northeast, and I'm mentoring undergraduate students at Durham University now. Which is a mixture of group sessions and one-to-ones, and I'm just so delighted to come and find that Tom is doing something with schools and that there are books aimed at kids, because every conversation I have with these students, they're A-star students, they're top of their class, they've come into a situation where they're uncomfortable and they're lost, and every single one of them I just tell them about the script, and I tell them you're not choosing. And you can see the brains whirring, and I'll have to go away and think about this. I say, well, you do that, but I'll be here in a couple of weeks' time. We'll talk about it again. And it's sinking in, but it's a phenomenal thing, and it's great to see everybody. Really fantastic. Thank you.
BC number 1, sure. What I want to answer is,
hand on heart. So how long ago was it you did it?
7 years and 4 months.
7 years and 4 months. Would you say, because that's a long time to have done a course, just 5 days, would you say, hand on heart, and I don't know if I've ever asked you this or not, but does it get stronger with time?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
7
Because
years.
it's hardwired.
5 days did that.
The script doesn't disappear. I mean, the bad messages you get when you're young from people who are trying to protect you are sort of carved into your bones before they've set. So you can't ever get rid of them.
No.
But it's the awareness and the choice. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can you imagine, right, getting someone on the first course where we say, we've got this course, it's 5 days, yeah, and they say, what's the results like? And yes, I don't know, I haven't done one yet. And it still came, and it still happened. A long time ago. Okay, now we've got, this is Liz's daughter, for those of you who don't know, Siobhan coming up. We sprung it on again. I said last night, I'm not going to say, do you want to speak? Because she'd say, like the script would say no. So I'm saying, do you want to, but not your script. So she's agreed to do it.
Yeah.
So here's Sharon. Say hello world. Hello world, Siobhan.
Sing us a song.
Right, just do that. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. But I don't need the mic then. Hi. Skip speaking out. It was so funny because the last time I came to the recharge day, I was up the back and I had a million things I wanted to say. I was like, Mum, you know, I'll speak if you want, because I kind of knew I wasn't going to be asked to, because I knew the slots were full, but kept getting all this great stuff, and I was like, oh, let me know if you need me, let me know. And she was like, yeah, the day went past and I didn't need to speak. And then today I was like, flat not a thing to say. But to tell you a bit of my kind of backstory, I grew up an only child, only grandchild. I was born just after my grandmother had lost her husband, my granddad. So I was very much the centre of attention and the saviour of the family, and had a really happy childhood until I was about 4.5, and then I went to school. And when I went to school, I realised I wasn't a princess. You know, I wasn't, you know, everything that my family had kind of taught me that I would be. And eventually by primary 3, I remember vividly, it was funny because I don't know, any of you that are on Facebook will notice there's been this thing going around recently where you need to make your status 7 facts about yourself for that people might not have known. And one of the ones that I put on recently was that Mrs. Oliver, my primary 3 teacher, was probably, I said it in humour because I'm quite sarcastic, but I said was the start of my demise, you know, and probably has a lot to answer for now. And so from about primary 3 onwards, that was when I started to really get a script, started to, you know, hate myself, judge myself, think I'm not good enough. And I remember around about that age, it sounds kind of random, but we used to play blind date in school where someone would hide round this side of the wall, they were still black. You go around this side and you had to like pick people, but we knew who everybody was because we all went to school together. And because we knew who everybody was, I had noticed time and time again that I started to get picked quite a lot. So then I started to get this identity where, oh, I'm having a little bit of success with the boys. And so then that kind of became my thing, and I was always then worried about how I looked and, you know, making sure that people like you and trying to tick all of those boxes. And I wasn't really interested in school because I'd already gave up because my teacher had told me there was no point, you know, I was rubbish, and I was always kept in at playtime to do the work that I hadn't done because I was so busy chatting and talking to the boys, no doubt. But then that whole thing with the boys kind of reinforced my hatred for myself and and the way I looked, because what I would do would look in the mirror every day to see what I could find wrong with myself in order to fix it. And so then, because I had kind of low confidence, low self-esteem, whatever you want to say, I decided to get into acting. Go figure. Because, you know, drama was something that people put their kids into to get them more confident. And I realised that actually deep down the real me, I was really good at that. And I remember watching back a video of me in America at 4 years old, and just like my mum was saying about, you know, my little cousins, I was like to my auntie, Myla, point the camera at me, like, and making up a wee song and singing. And I cried the first time I saw that video, because I can't believe that was me. I'd always thought I was this shy kid with low self-esteem and was rubbish at everything and, you know, not confident. And I was like, God, that's the real me. And so when I did acting, I did realise that the real me was, you know, good at that sort of stuff and really enjoyed it. But the problem with acting is, again, it's a bit like what I said I did looking in the mirror. You're the product, so you've got to constantly judge yourself and check yourself. And when you go in audition and they don't like you, they don't not like your business, they don't like you. And that's quite hard, you know, to take, especially if you've got the script that you've got that says you're only, you know, good for nothing, basically. And so that just kind of got worse and worse, and your family try and do their best, but they don't realise that, you know, they are giving you their script. So like my mum said, she was absolutely loving me and telling me I was great, but I would watch her look in the mirror and call herself fat or have a big tantrum and whatever, and so that, you know, is passed down to me, and then so that's what I do, don't like myself. And like my grandmother and people like that, they're very, oh, what are you like? You're always losing stuff and you're always doing that, and she's just not confident, and it, like we were seeing on the model, it just reinforces and reinforces that identity. So eventually when then I went and did my masters in musical theatre, and the head of my course, me, just, you know, didn't gel with each other, and the more I doubted myself, the more he doubted me, and he just again reinforced this crap script and bad identity. And after that I did BC, luckily, saved my life. And I did BC 18 because, a bit like you were saying, Sean, I wanted to let them mess it up first before I actually had a go at it. And even though it's my mum, and obviously, you know, I know Richard very well, it really changed my life, and I completely enjoyed it, and a lot of doors opened and things changed for me afterwards, and I went and, you know, worked in China and did amazing things after that. But since coming home, there's still a lot of shit, like everyone said. Like right now, at the present time in my life, I'm not doing, as we say, things that I would like to be doing. I'm not ticking all the boxes that my script wants to tick. And what BC teaches you is that that's okay. Before, I was just saying to my friend Kylie at the break, actually, before, my constant mantra was, excuse my language, but what the fuck is up with you, Siobhan? Like, it was always, why me, and why can I not get it, and what is wrong with me, and why can I not just fit in, and why can I not just be like these people that just take a job and work hard and are happy with that? Why have I got to be the one that's sensitive and that, you know, doesn't fit in and can't play the game? I always used to say to my mum, why can I not just play the game? And since BC, I realised that, like, that's okay, and I don't want to play the game. Do you know what I mean? You see the people who do play it, and I feel heart sorry for them. And what was good for me on my BC as well is I did it with Tom's friend Barbie, and she had the complete opposite script from me in a way. She was like completely intelligent, like overachiever and that sort of thing. That was her thing. She achieved to feel love, and I was the opposite. I do the avoidance thing. And it was so nice for us two to realise that we were both coming for the same place. But now I teach drama to kids, and I'm so proud of what you're doing, Tom. Sorry. I always cry, and I'm here, I've got tissue in my pocket. I was working with my kids last week, and I don't do a lot of BC with them because I'm trying to, break it in gently, and it's something I kind of need to chat about with the head of the theatre school as well, and we're trying to get her here and see if we can really get it in place. But I had a little confrontation. I was kind of in my script, and I had a little confrontation with one of the teenagers last week. I was like, guys, okay, give me some feedback. What can we do to make this day better? And thinking I was doing something positive, and I just watched him go into his script. He was like, nah, I'm not doing that. Don't want to do that. And after it, I just watched him, like, basically it was like a big black blanket covered him, and he was just getting more and more introverted and worse and worse. And I knew it was his script, God bless him, but there was only so much he could do that day. And I'm just so proud of you guys for what you've done, and I honestly think you've invented the wheel, do you know what I mean? And one day people look back and talk about this, and it'll be part of history. Do you know what I mean? We need to get it out there. Like, I'm so happy, and I so hope, like, if I was just crying, like, when you were talking about what you're doing, Tom, because I said, God, if I'd had that in my master's programme, I might have had half a chance. Do you know what I mean? To actually do what I love instead of constantly having this script that I'm not good enough. Because God bless the guy that ran my course. He's got a script. He didn't know how to run a course. He didn't have the stuff. He was only doing his best with what he had. And I'm just so proud of you guys, and so proud of everybody that's done it. And I just can't wait for us to be able to get this out there more, and for it to be a prevention and not a cure. Do you know what I mean? So, thank you.
Okay, guys. Don't know much evidence we need. It's like, there's always been, on the way sort of you create success. You know what I think you do in life? You recognise it. It's when you can recognise things. Someone was talking about Richard Branson the other day, and I was thinking, he says, yeah, he's good at recognising where, and beauty is going on around us. And I just wonder today, whether there'll be people in the room that can recognise what BC could, not just done for us and the people, what it could do for you. So just a word there, see if you could recognise what's going on. And if we're nearly finished, we're going to be finished in an hour and a quarter, we'll finish at 4:30. We're going to break now for a cuppa, but if we can be back in by past, so we ain't got long, we'll have a cuppa and we'll do that. And thank you, guys. Thank you.